It's Friday, November 11th, 2011. I'm Kevin McShan, and this is the McShan Sports Beat Report.
This is George Connor of the Chicago Bears. Bear down, Chicago Bears.
Now you are 46% of the offense, and you recently made the comment that you feel like they're grinding you to a pulp. Explain that.
Well, when you play running back and you 46% of the offense, and I'm on my rookie deal, which I've obviously outperformed, and you continue to produce, and the deal still hasn't gotten done, then you're undervalued, and running backs don't have long careers in the NFL.
You're playing for $600,000 in base salary. What was on the table was maxed out at 13 to 14 million in guarantees. You ever second guess that?
No, I never second guess.
Why not?
Because I'm never going to let somebody else tell me what kind of player I am or undervalue.
So is the offer a slap in the face?
I wouldn't say I don't take it as a slap in the face. I just think they have the wrong idea about me. They didn't really think I was as good as a running back as I can be.
So what type of idea do you think they have of you based on the offer?
I don't know. I think they were just thinking I was just an average running back that just kind of, gets whatever the play's blocked for, he can do that, and, catch the ball in the backfield a little bit, and, pass protect just, someone. I think they were thinking that way because I don't know, maybe I'm not a flashy guy or something like that.
If you were them, would you franchise you? Can you understand at all where they're coming from?
No. If I was them, I'd give myself a contract. Easy as that.
Right. Except that, they're the ones with the purse strings.
Yeah. But, if you're an organization and you got your own player that you have drafted, I'm not coming from another team. I'm a guy who's been here since day one that they drafted me, working hard out there. Why not reward that guy for working hard? That's in any job that you do. That's kind of just odd to me that it hasn't gotten done yet.
What do you want to tell management right now as to where things stand with you?
I've been a great player out there. I've been producing at the running back position for this organization for going on 4 years. Why hasn't a deal gotten done?
So you have a question? Anything you want to add to that?
That's my only question. What's up?
Money is only a tool. It can take you as far as you want to go. However, it doesn't replace you as the driver. And up until this point, the Chicago Bears and their all-everything running back, Matt Forte, have not yet been driven to a point of consensus on a make and model on a new deal, which makes sense for both sides. As a result, one of the most productive and dynamic backs in all of the NFL is left in a state of limbo. Heading into this season, Forte ranked 5th in yards from scrimmage with 4,731, the most since 2008, and is the only player in franchise history to have 1,400 plus yards from scrimmage in his first 3 seasons. Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio took some time out earlier this season to discuss the status of the contract negotiations between the Bears and their top flight runner on Pro Football Talk Live. And Florio says that Forte is a victim of the perception of the position rather than his production on the field.
Another guy who has started off the 2011 season very well and has been a solid player since joining the NFL out of Tulane, Matt Forte. Now, Matt Forte has said publicly, he told John Mullen, CSNChicago.com, that the Bears don't believe he's an elite player. And this is the ongoing debate as it relates to running backs. Are you just a replaceable guy that you use him up at the end of his first contract? Maybe you use the franchise tag, and that's what the Bears could do with Forte in year 5 of his NFL career. And at some point, you just go back and you get another guy. You draft another player. First round, second round, whatever. And now that the rookie wage scale is in place, you get a mid to low round pick in round 1. Go ahead and draft that running back, use him up for 5 years, and then use the franchise tag on him for 6 years, and then move on to another rookie when that guy is done. And so, the only guys who are going to rise above that are the truly elite running backs, the Chris Johnsons and the Adrian Petersons, both of whom have received pretty significant contracts in recent weeks. The Bears aren't ready to pay that to Matt Forte. They don't believe he's at that level. And he may not be at that level, although, I'll tell you what, watching him play the first 2 weeks against the Falcons and the Saints, he's pretty good. And I don't know that you just go out and draft another guy and expect him to come in and play like Matt Forte, but that's the Bears' approach. They had Cedric Benson. It didn't work out. Of course, he became one of the guys that the Bengals decided to take a chance on, and it's worked out well on Benson's second try in Cincinnati. But you go out and you draft another guy. You just keep drafting running backs, and you get one that works, and you use him up, you chew him up, you spit him out, and then you go get another one. And I think that's what the Bears plan to do. And it's unfortunate because this is a guy who could be a contributor for the Bears well into the future. But the reality is, if you use a running back a lot, and they all want to be used, they don't want to hear anything about this committee approach. If you use a guy too much, he's going to get to a point where he's not attractive to his original team or to anyone else, and that may be the path that Matt Forte is on. And even if he doesn't like it, what's his alternative? Now, he can hold out in the offseason, and not sign the franchise tender, show up late in the preseason, get his full salary. It'll be $7 or $8 million next year. Who knows what Matt Forte will do? Who knows whether or not the Bears will sign him to a new contract? But he's a guy that the Bears need. They've got a guy that they can use both out of the backfield in the passing game and both handing him the ball. They need to use him. They need to pay him. And they need to find a way, find a middle ground. You don't have to pay him like Adrian Peterson or Chris Johnson, but they need to take care of him.
At the midway point in the season, Forte has racked up 805 yards on the ground, an average of 5.2 yards per carry, which is good enough for the Bears to have the 11th best rushing attack in the league. Chicago averages 120.9 yards on the ground per contest. Adam Anshell and Dan Parr of Pro Football Weekly provide the way they hear it when it comes to Forte's future in the Windy City.
Now, Pro Football Weekly is exclusive. The way we hear it, all the news scoops and rumors before they happen. And Dan, you've been all over this Matt Forte contract situation. You know he's one of the best backs in the league. He leads the league in yards from scrimmage. Still looking for that new contract. It seems like now the Bears are in a bye week. Isn't this the perfect time for him to get something done?
Well, Adam, of course, Matt Forte would tell you the perfect time to get something done was training camp when the Bears did make an offer to him, but it was not to his liking. What we do know about the situation now is that there's not a lot of progress being made. Jerry Angelo and Forte's agent, Anissa Bakari, did exchange pleasantries when they saw each other in London, but there weren't any talks about the deal. This week we haven't heard any sign that there's any kind of movement from either side on the situation. And right now, Matt Forte is just trying to stay focused on the game, not what's going on behind the scenes with his agent and the Bears, as they try to get something done at some point. But right now there's no hope, I don't think, to see anything happening, anything imminent happening.
It seems like this is the perfect time for Forte. The year he's been having, we go through 7 games, he has the 4th most yards from scrimmage that we've seen since the merger. I mean, just crazy numbers that he's putting up in this offense. But it looks like the most likely scenario is he gets the franchise tag in the offseason, which is good money, but only for a year. Is that going to start to lead to kind of some contentious relations?
I think it could. At this point, you have to say whether you think Matt Forte should get a new contract or not. I think we can all agree he's handled himself like a real professional throughout this, which speaks a lot about his character. He certainly has voiced displeasure with the situation, but while we've seen other players take a little bit of a different strategy, Matt Forte has been pretty restrained in what he's said about this. So the longer it goes, the nastier it gets, and if it does come to the franchise tag, and I do think there's a pretty good chance we're going to get to that point in the offseason, I think things do get a little more interesting and maybe a little bit even more contentious at that point. So it'll be interesting to see if we get there and what the reaction is.
And we'll just have to see, too, how important he is to the Bears. I mean, with those numbers you're putting up, they could be a vital part to lock up. So far, that hasn't been the case. We'll see what happens moving forward.
When you construct a resume of productivity, consistency, and reliability, you expect to be fairly compensated for the fruits of your labor. However, when it comes to doling out large sums of money for a running back, the purse strings play to the sound of a different tune. They often tell us that the NFL career is finite in nature, and that is certainly the case when you're discussing running backs, because they take such a significant pounding that over time, a large number of hits will take their toll on their body and render the current horse in the position ineffective. However, with that being said, Matt Forte has certainly demonstrated to the best of his ability that he will be capable of maintaining his current level of production, and he's also shown proof that he has the tangible work ethic in order to sustain success over a long period of time. It's not a stretch to say that Matt Forte is a key cog in the Bears' offense, especially considering he makes up nearly half of their production. The bottom line in this contract dispute is simple. The Bears and general manager Jerry Angelo have a very shaky case to stand upon. The Bears need Matt Forte a lot more than Forte needs the Bears. And if the Bears are wise, they'll open up their wallets and do what's just by Matt Forte, because the worst thing he can do is run away. Kevin McShan, McShan Sports Beat Report.